Hey boys and girls, I'm so excited for this week. There's a lot of things going on. One, it's Spirit Week, and I know there's something really fun happening this weekend. But I don't know if you guys have noticed at the grocery stores or around town or maybe in your neighborhood, you've noticed a lot of pumpkins, right? It is that time of year where everyone has pumpkins out, right? Or you might notice there's pumpkin food flavor at the grocery store, right? So pumpkins. This week in STEAM, we are doing everything about pumpkins. So today I'm actually gonna carve open this pumpkin and we are gonna look inside. But first, before we look inside, I've got some pumpkin facts here. We've gotta talk about pumpkins. I've got an assortment of pumpkins here. Did you know that pumpkins come in all different shapes and sizes? Isn't that awesome? You know, I also learned that pumpkins have different names. This big pumpkin, well, I wouldn't say it's big. Medium-sized pumpkin is called a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin. This is a pumpkin that people tend to carve out and make jack-o'-lanterns. It's kind of like a tradition. This is called a sugar pumpkin. Most of our sugar pumpkins people cut into and use the flesh to eat, to make pumpkin pie, pumpkin desserts, any kind of pumpkin treat, pumpkin soup, pumpkin bread, pumpkin cupcakes, anything you can think of pumpkin, okay? This is called a tiger stripe pumpkin. How cool. Notice it's kind of got stripes, but it's not orange. I just noticed it's got some orange, but it's mainly like white and green. And this one, it's got like these wart things on it, but this is still considered a pumpkin. And last but not least, this teeny baby pumpkin I've got too. All of these are considered pumpkins. Isn't that cool? It's crazy how many different types of pumpkins there are. Think to yourself, if you've ever been to a pumpkin patch, or if you think about all the different types of pumpkins you've seen, there's so many different types, just like apples. There are different types of apples that we eat too, right? We have the red delicious, we've got the Granny Smith green apples, the yellowish red ones are like gala apples, right? There's a bunch of different types, just like pumpkins. Now, speaking of apples and pumpkins, I got a question back here. Are pumpkins a fruit? Well, let's think. I know that fruit is a part of a plant. And I also know that fruits have seeds inside. So apples have seeds inside. It's a fruit. Pumpkins have seeds inside. The fruit is protecting the seeds inside. That's the fruit's job, is to protect the seeds. So guess what? Pumpkins are fruit. Now, a lot of pumpkin dishes are sweet, right? When we think about pumpkin, we think of sweet dishes. But you can make savory, salty types of pumpkin dishes too. Another question I've got, why do you think pumpkins are orange? Why do you think most pumpkins are orange, you know? When I think of a pumpkin or when I go to draw a pumpkin, I always go to draw it orange. But not all pumpkins are orange. Some are green. Did you know that when pumpkins are growing, they start out green? They start out green and then they eventually turn orange. Well, the reason why they're orange is because of the carotene in it. Carotene is also found in different vegetables and foods that we eat too. Carrots, sweet potatoes, those have high carotene in them. It's a substance that these fruits have. Scientists a long time ago got out their microscopes and zoomed in into a pumpkin and noticed that it had the same substances as a carrot, carotene. So that is why pumpkins are orange, some of them. Now, another reason why scientists think that pumpkins turn orange is some fruits and vegetables, when they're growing, they start out green. Think of a tomato. When a tomato is growing, it starts green. Well, eventually, when it's ripe and ready for us to eat, it turns red. Well, also in the wild, fruits and vegetables, they start out green, but when they're ripe and ready, they turn into the color. So that way it attracts the animals, so that way the animals eat the fruit. How cool is that? I didn't know that about pumpkins and why they're orange and why some fruits and vegetables turn the color that they turn. How cool. Got 2 more facts for you before we cut this pumpkin open. Did you know that you can eat a bunch of different parts of a pumpkin? You can eat the inside of a pumpkin. It's called the flesh. That's the part that we mainly eat, the orange mushy stuff. That's the flesh of the pumpkin. You can also eat pumpkin seeds. They're so yummy if you bake them in the oven. Just add some butter or oil and some salt and pepper, or just salt. So good. And the flower. When pumpkins are growing on the long green swirly vines, they grow these yellow flowers. They're called blossoms. Some of you might have heard them called squash blossoms. They are so yummy and great to eat too. Okay, so you can eat the flesh inside, the seeds, and the flowers of a pumpkin. How cool. You ready for the best fact of all? Did you know that the largest pumpkin has weighed in at 2,624.6 pounds? 2,600 pounds. That is so much weight. Can you believe it? How big would that be in your backyard? Oh my gosh. I don't even think it would fit in my tiny backyard. All right, so I'm gonna get my tools ready so we can cut into this pumpkin. I will be right back, and get ready. First, what I need you to get while I'm getting my tools out is I need you to find your pumpkin notes that you wrote down. So we've got the pumpkin notes. What do we see? How many pumpkin seeds do you think are inside? And how many seeds were in the pumpkin? All right. If you are in 2nd and 3rd grade, you've got a few more notes that I want you to write down. So everyone go and find your pumpkin notes. All right, I've got my materials and I'm ready to start carving the pumpkin. But before I start carving the pumpkin, I want to go over these pumpkin notes with you. While I'm carving this pumpkin and while you're watching me, we're going to follow along and fill out these notes together. So I hope, if you haven't done so, I want you to pause right now, but I want you to write down the questions on paper so you know what you're answering. Okay, so if you have not done this yet, I want you to get out a piece of paper and write down the questions that are on the website. Okay, so the first question is, what do you see? Okay, so what do you see? I want you to think about, what do you see on the outside of this pumpkin? Right now, write down, what do you see on the outside of this pumpkin? I see some lines, you know, it's very rigid. So I'm gonna write lines. I see a brown, it's almost like a dark green stem. So dark green stem. I see the color orange, so I'm gonna write down orange. It's medium size. I wouldn't say it's a large pumpkin. It's pretty medium if I'm comparing it to my head. And it's got a few like little nicks and some dirty spots. See the little nicks and dirty spots? So I'm gonna write kind of dirty. So I want you right now to write down, what do you see? What do you see with this pumpkin? What do you see with this pumpkin? Okay, I'm gonna start carving my pumpkin, but before I start carving my pumpkin, we've gotta talk about safety. I've got all my materials out, and in order to not make a mess, I've got some old towels. I'm wearing my lab coat, which I can wash, and an old t-shirt, just in case. I don't wanna get it messy. I've put newspaper down on my table, and I also have some bowls to put the guts in because it's gonna get really messy and slimy. So I've got that. Now, the most important part is, if you do not have pumpkins at home, do not go buy pumpkins, okay? Unless your mom or dad or guardian at home says it's okay. But I do not want you to go buy pumpkins. If you have pumpkins at home and this is something that you do at home and you carve pumpkins, I wanna make sure you do it with an adult. An adult is someone who is 18 years or older. So please do not go to your older brother or sister who might be in 5th grade, or in middle school, I want you to ask a guardian, ask the adult at home before you do this. If they say no, then you're gonna watch me do it, okay? You might be doing this later on. You might have already carved a pumpkin inside, okay? So please make sure you have an adult at home before you get out these important tools that you need. You need some carving tools. Now, I do not have the carving tools that you can buy at the grocery store. Those tools I've heard are the best. But today I'm just going to use a couple knives. These are very, very sharp knives. I'm going to be very careful with them when I'm cutting into my pumpkin. I also have a giant fork and a giant spoon so I can dig and scoop out once I get inside. So let's go ahead and start carving this pumpkin. I've got my sleeves up and I am going to just start cutting in the top. What I want to do is I want to cut a circle around because I want to lift this up and I want to get the top out. I want to see what's inside this pumpkin. Okay, so be very careful with my cuts. And I'm just kind of making a circle, which is kind of hard, so I have to take it out. I'm kind of making like a stop sign, like an octagon. I'm making sure I'm going really slow and I'm taking my time and I'm not rushing. It also helps if you use two hands so you can keep the other pumpkin or the pumpkin sturdy, but make sure you watch your fingers and the knife part. Okay. So I'm going to put that down, but I think I've got the top. Okay, so before I do this, what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna go put my sharp tools away in the sink so I don't have any other accidents. So I'll be right back. Okay, you ready to see what's inside this pumpkin? Let's go. So, oh my goodness. It has a funky kind of smell to it, but look at all these seeds. Oh my goodness. Okay, stop. We got to get to our next question. What do you see? What's in the inside of the pumpkin? What do you see? So, right now, I want you guys to write down, what do you see inside this pumpkin? If you need to pause, go ahead and pause. What do you see? Looks really stringy. I see white seeds. I see like a light yellow flesh, or the meat. That's the flesh of the pumpkin. Looks rough and slimy. Okay, so I'm gonna write down some notes too of what do I see, or what do I see inside the pumpkin? So gooey. Okay, so I said stringy, slimy, seeds. It's like yellow flesh, or like that's the meat that we eat. They call it the flesh. That's all I'm gonna write right now. Okay, so right now I want to go ahead and scoop out all that stuff, but we need to make a guess because I want to do a little math with this. I guessed that there are going to be 206 seeds inside my pumpkin. 206. So right now I want you to make a guess. How many seeds do you think are inside my pumpkin? So write that down on your pumpkin notes. How many seeds do you think are in my pumpkin? My guess was 206. Okay, so while I'm digging out the guts, I'm going to be getting my seeds in here from the top of my pumpkin. And there's all the seeds. And now it's time to scoop out all the guts. Ooh, and it's so slimy. Look at it. The inside is so slimy. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna try to take that slimy stuff off. And put that in a bowl and separate it. So I got my bowl of seeds. I'm gonna try to take as much slimy stuff as I can off. Okay, so let's talk about the parts that you can eat. You can eat the seeds, I said that. So this is what the seeds look like. When you can eat these, once you clean them off with water, of course, and get the slimy stuff off, then you dry them and you can put some oil or some salt on them. Butter works too. And you can just put them in the oven at like 350 and just bake them until they're golden brown and crunchy. I love pumpkin seeds. Kind of tastes like sunflower seeds, but they're a little different. But you do not eat the stringy part of the pumpkin. So when people are using pumpkins to cook with, the part that they have to do is what I'm doing right now, is digging through it to get all the seeds and the stringy stuff out. The flesh, which is this stuff, that's what they cut and actually eat, the part of that pumpkin. Look how many seeds are at the top of my pumpkin lid. All right, I'm also noticing that the seeds are attached to the stringy stuff. It's like I have to peel them off the stringy stuff. I'm wondering if that's something that the seeds grow from, or I don't know. It's kind of an interesting material. But I'm really having to pull these seeds from it. All right, I'm gonna keep pulling this stuff out. Okay, I finished getting all the seeds out and all the guts. Let's look in the inside now. So, I tried my best to get all that stringy stuff out. Well, like I said, I tried my best. And here it is, the inside. I got all the seeds out. And now, if you want to eat this, you would bake it, or you'd get it hot, and then you peel off the skin, the outer layer. You don't eat that, but you eat the flesh inside. And that's how you get all of our pumpkin. That's what you eat. So I think I'm ready to rinse these seeds off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go rinse these seeds off, and whenever I come back, we're gonna count them, okay? So I'll be right back. Okay, I've got my seeds dried off the best I can, or rinsed off the best I can. I'm gonna dry them a little bit, but then I am going to start counting them. So my guess was 206 seeds. 206. So I'm gonna pick up these from the floor before my cat eats them. No rocket, no rocket. They're slippery. Okay. So here we go. Let's count these seeds. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What I think I'm gonna do, what's gonna be easier for me, is to put them in groups of 10. So then that way, once I have groups of 10, I can just count 10, 20, 30, 40, because I'm afraid I'm gonna lose count if I count by ones. So I'm gonna make little groups. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You could also make groups of 20 if you want, and then count by 20s, 20, 40, 60. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, I'm gonna keep counting and making my groups on my towel. So I think I counted and did it pretty equally. I'm sure nothing, oh, there's one on the ground. Good, okay. It's like, cause I've got equal stacks of 10. So, but just kidding, one fell on the ground, so I have one odd. So I made my stacks of 10, now let's count. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 seats, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200. My guess is way off. So we have 200 seeds now. 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, 270, 280, 290, 300 seats, 310, 320, 330, 340, 350, 360, 370, 380, 390, 400, 410, 420, 421 seeds. So how many seeds were inside? 421. So write that down on your paper on the answer. So my guess was 206. I actually had 421 pumpkin seeds inside my pumpkin. Oh my goodness. How cool is that? I hope you guys had fun watching my video. Remember, if you don't have pumpkins at home, that's okay. I hope you had fun watching my video. If you carve pumpkins or have pumpkins or do any kind of traditions with pumpkins, have fun, and remember, be safe and have an adult with you. Bye everyone.